all just like Anna Roberts. Did a show he drunk from the savannah. He does coach young people swimming, although they say he good. But at the end of the day, look at him. But it's no problem. He in the Ministry of Housing. And the next one who must stink and dirty like that, I just call him Cutters because I promise if he lost his seat, not if, when he lost his seat in Policeman or St. Anne's West, I was going to call him Cutters. So MP Cutters, them is ministers now. So what are they telling the young people really? You could get on anyhow, you could cause, you could this, that. No scene, no scene. Listen to me now. Take you all to make Trinidad to be going to end up like a laughing stock, eh? All right. So, Queen's Royal College student Jediah Joseph is the winner of the Ministry of the People's Social Development and Family Services 2025 spoken word competition, beating 27 other youths for the top spot. And I am almost certain that that competition had nothing to do with MP Vandana Mohit. Probably it was in place before and she just reaping the benefits, but we tell all you, who all you want to answer the phone at Diplomatic Center April 20th. Come up as a recessor or Stuart Young, SC. All you in business, all you didn't care, like all you want cameras, all you get code as yellow, and when UNC win, somebody does win. I don't know who is somebody. Yeah. Let me continue. In second place was Zain Besoon of Presentation College San Fernando, and tied for third place was Ashtish Maniram of Vishnu Boys Hindu College and Sarima Bradshaw of Bishop Ansi High School. Dr. Sion Raymond, Director of the Social Investigation Division of the Ministry, explained the competition was held annually. See what I tell you? She had nothing to do with it, but she reaped any benefit. She always smiling and grinning. And I hope that child didn't know who she is and go on social media and search it and find it. And oh my God. No. Hey. So Dr. Sion Raymond explained this is held annually and is in commemoration of the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty, as the ministry wanted to empower youth to express their realities, hopes, and ideas for change while inspiring national awareness and action. I hope this minister, Ms. Mohit, I hope that she will be interested in finishing the social development building down at the corner, I think it's Victoria and Chagrit Road. Make sure it finished because that will house all the social welfare ministries and all of that scattered all over town. So you know when you take a kind town to go down, you take a St. James car, you drop in Victoria and Chagrit Road, all the offices are there. Then you're all over town asking people where this one, where this one, right? I hope all they finish it because all they talking about paying rent to the 1%. So that's a nice way to stop paying rent in some of them buildings that the ministries and them. So let me see. So congratulations there to Jediah Joseph and all the other winners of this spoken word. That was really nice. Spoken word is a big thing with them young people, you know. Big thing, you know. That's how they express themselves. I'm seeing that a young scholar, and I'm saying this, not trying to make light of it. I'm really not making light of it. So, young scholar appeals for help to attend Yale summer program. This is a beautiful young lady. Excuse me. I want to tell her, since when everybody wins, she should have no problem sourcing the money from the UNC. However, relevant ministry, go to Dr. Dowlat and tell them, let her get the money to go and study because when them win, they say, all of we win. So, darling, let me see what's your name. Again, I'm not trying to make light. Congratulations. Real nice of you that you have done that. That is hard work, dedication. Your parents, big up to your parents and them because you could not do it by yourself. So this was in the Guardian 20 hours ago. And it says, Krisan Badesi, 17, has made history by becoming the first student from Trinidad and Tobago to be accepted into the prestigious Yale Young Global Scholars Program. However, although she received a merit-based scholarship covering tuition, accommodation, and healthcare, the fifth form St. Joseph Convent San Fernando student still needs approximately $4,000 US to make this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity reality. The 2-week program is a highly selected academic enrichment initiative for outstanding high school students from across the globe. This season, which runs from July the 6th to the 18th, will focus on law, politics, and and economics, subjects close to Kieran's heart. So she's very excited because Yale is a very Ivy League university and know those Cornwall girls. Hello. And this stands as an accomplishment, not just for me, but all of Trinidad and Tobago, because I'm the first to attend, first student admitted to the Trinidad and Tobago, from Trinidad and Tobago. So let me tell you something. All earlier, all the big ministers and thing, Dr. Dowlat and thing, make sure that this young lady gets she 4,000 US so she could go. Because when UNC win, or let's say everybody win. Yeah? So we hope to see that she able to go and fulfill her dream because she's the first one from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah? So let me see how that will go. So Miss Kieran, darling, you see I talk for you. You didn't ask me, but I talk for you still. So this week, Jonathan today is Super Blue. Yes. Oh gosh. I can't play it thing because I don't have copyright. You know. So let me say it now before I forget. I want to say happy, happy, happy Earth Strong to Austin Lyons. We know him as Super Blue. For all his music, for all the fete I fete to him, music, me and my girlfriend from Pune, we used to be in every fete. And any instruction he gave me up and down, when he said jump, he run up, listen. It what? Let me give you this quick story. So we went to WeFet. When we went to WeFet now, Super Blue was singing on the stage. And we did up on the stage, not up on the stage, but in front of the stage and thing, and he's singing and we touching up, trying to grab his pants, all kind of thing, man, and he watching me. And then he had to leave to go, I think was custom fete and tongue. Let me tell you, me and my girlfriend get out of the fete. We mop a drop to tongue and gone by custom fete and say, there's a wall, they're looking for tickets. All the man all at the time. And we get inside. And as we reach down to the front Super Blue on the stage, I swear to you all, when the man looked down and see two away, he's like, I didn't just leave two of them in the center. I said, what? That's how bad it is with people. Listen, we in every fete, and we balling. We, oh God. Super Blue, thank you for your music. Thank you for the excitement. Thank you for the innovation. Thank you for the memories. Thank you. All your blessings to you, my darling. Right, so I say my piece there. This weekend, I think, is Indian Arrival Day. But remember, it had some drama with that. It was Arrival Day, and it was Arrival Day. I got to talk about that after. Right? So, yes, okay, no, it was. I think Mr. Manet just. Let me get this thing. So, I ain't talking choppiness. Right. Indian Arrival Day was first declared a holiday by Prime Minister Patrick Manning, God rest his soul, in 1995. It was initially called Arrival Day, but later renamed Indian Arrival Day by the UNC government in 1996. This holiday commemorates the arrival of the first Indian indentured laborers to Trinidad and Tobago in 1845. Yeah? So, while all of us arrived here, we arrived under different circumstances and different conditions, right? So they wanted to differentiate and say Indian Arrival Day, and Mr. Patrick, deceased Mr. Bazi Pandey would have afforded them change the holiday to that, and it is what it is. So indenture the journey from India. So I said, let me just look it up because you know what? I heard Saddam Hussein spoke so passionately about Indian Arrival Day and all that, it piqued my interest. I said, you know what? Let me think and start it early before I forget. So I said, today I will talk a little bit about indenture, the journey from India. Just a little thing. Nothing too long. Oh gosh. What is this? Oh, give me a minute. Shucks. What do you think? Hi, Adara. Hi, Jackie. Thank you all for coming and hang with me. Let me see. Indentured. Oh, Jesus. The journey from India. Indentured, the journey from India. Indentured, the journey from India. African Order, India. No, no, no. Open for the thing. Right. So this is a short clip.
May 30th, 1845. The Fat Al Razak docks just outside the 172 years ago, the first batch of indentured laborers from India sent goodbye to their families, left their villages, and boarded the Fatal Razak to come to Trinidad to work the sugar plantations. Unbeknownst to them, for some it would be the last time they ever saw their families and villages again, as after the indentureship period ended, some could not return to their birthland and had to settle in Trinidad to make a new life, leaving everything behind except their religious and cultural practices and traditions. As we celebrate Indian Arrival Day, one man, Pundit Dr. Deokinanan Sharma, son of an indentured laborer, spoke to Shirley Lewis to share some of the history during the indentureship period.
The arrival of the indentured laborers to Trinidad in 1845 to work the sugar fields, the Indian community has grown exponentially and now accounts for 35.4% of the population. Indian immigration to Trinidad spanned through 1845 to 1917, with over 140,000 East Indians taking up indentureship here. During this period, they worked the fields tirelessly, lived in deplorable conditions, and were even subjected to abuse. Upon their arrival on the Fat El Razak, they disembarked on Nelson Island, where they were later split up and sent to various estates. For Dr. Deokinanan Sharma, now the president of the NCIC, he can vividly recount his trip to India for the first time when he visited his father's village, hometown of Uttar Pradesh, to meet relatives he had never seen before. The village his father left as an indentured laborer at age 18 to come to Trinidad to work the sugar fields.
My father came as an indentured laborer in 1912 at the age of 18. So he was amongst the last probably couple hundred or maybe 1,000 or so that would have come. And fortunately, he managed to keep in touch with his relatives because he was educated in Hindi and Sanskrit. And in fact, he told me when he came here for about 14 years, he had no contacts with them. He used to write them, but no one was replying. Maybe they were quite annoyed that he had left them.
Dr. Sharma said while his father could not read or write, when his indentureship period expired, he became a pundit and started teaching Hindi and Sanskrit, which he was fluent in.
He taught in Hindi and Sanskrit and so on. And after the expiry of his indentureship period, he started to do priesthood, Hindu priesthood, we call them pundits. And he lived his entire life thereafter as a pandit. And he was very well versed in the language and so on. And in his early days, he was responsible for training a lot of pandits, especially in the Southland.
Welcome back inside the North.
So that was a little piece there. Although that was new one, but there's a little piece, but I could tie up it all kind of thing. Let me give you another experience again. Give me a minute. Hey. So it says here, indentured laborers from India primarily came from northern India, specifically the districts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. A smaller number also came from Bengal and other parts of southern India. You know, they were saying Bengal have plenty witchcraft. I was to find that and bring it for you. And other parts of southern India. The majority of these immigrants were Hindus, with a smaller percentage being Muslim. Here's a more detailed breakdown of that. A vast majority of indentured laborers were recruited from the agricultural and laboring classes of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar region. When they say agricultural classes, they mean, in my opinion, Dalits, right? A smaller number of laborers also originated from Bengal and various areas in southern India. Approximately 85% of the immigrants were Hindus, with 14% being Muslims and a small percentage being Christians. These indentured laborers were transported to various British colonies, including Trinidad and Tobago, to work on sugar, cocoa, and coconut plantations. And St. James used to be known as Coolie Town, and a lot of them would have congregated there. They were beggars, and some of them were beggars on the street, and a lot of them would have, and this is when the begging used to say begging for charity, and a lot of them would have died, being put in the poorhouse, and when they died, because had no family, no money, and things like that, they were buried in the pauper cemetery. So that is a piece of history, also Indian history. And if you look at the streets in India, a lot of them carry a lot of Indian names, Delhi Street, and um, I can't remember all the rest, but all I know, in St. James, a lot of the streets are named after persons of Indian descent. So a lot of them, because the sea, because there was some harbor or something close there, so when some of them would have come, they settled in that area. But again, a lot of them were beggars on the street. No fault of theirs, of course, but that is just a part of the history. You know, everybody have a history, and whether or not it has some negative things or not, it is a part of a history, right? So I heard, I'm sure it was MP Saddam Hussein was speaking about where Kamala Prasad family came from. But we saw when she hired the whole plane and went to India to visit her family in Bihar. Now, Bihar is a state or a province, or I'm not sure what they call it, in India, that a lot of Dalits are from there. So she went back to look for her family, and we saw it. I'd never see her go back again, so I don't know why. The same thing with Mr. Pandey, he went also, and I never seen him go back after that. So this is something about Bihar, where our Honorable Prime Minister Kamala Prasad's sister family is from. Just now. I don't know what's happening with this thing. Everything just mixing up. Ay, ay, ay. Just now.
Macana, as they're known locally, are the seeds of the prickly water lily plant. Once they're popped, they are known as foxnuts. They're a popular snack in Bihar, India, the origin of 80% of the world's supply. Harvesting is hard work. The seeds are at the bottom of the pond, and the water is not clear enough to see and avoid the thorns, so a lecturer uses a stick to move the plants aside. Each plant can yield anywhere from 70 to 125 seeds. Workers feel the seeds with their hands coming to the surface and direct them towards a special type of basket called a garja, which they use to clean the seeds and separate them from the mud. Once out of the water, workers stomp on the freshly collected seeds to remove the outer skin. Then, they place the seeds back into the basket and take them back to the water to clean.
Right? So that is where our Honorable Prime Minister, her family are from, Bihar, India. So just a little touch. Is important to know your history, yeah, so that you know where it came from. Just one more little thing again I saw. Hi, just a minute. Oh, yo. Give me a minute, 1 minute. You know, if I can find it, I'm moving on. As I said, this is in commemoration of Indian Arrival Day. I think the holiday is on Friday, Saturday. Oh, they help me out now. All you know, sometimes I just get the thing wrong. What do you think? Right. So Dalits, also known as scheduled castes, form a significant portion of the population in Bihar, India. They are the lowest social group in the caste-based hierarchy and face systemic discrimination and marginalization. In 2011, Dalits comprised 16% of Bihar population, with 21 out of 23 Dalit castes classified as Mahadalits, the most underprivileged. Dalits mean broken or scattered, a term for communities historically marginalized and excluded from the fold Varna system of Hinduism. Dalits are placed at the bottom of the caste-based social order, experiencing various forms of discrimination and exclusion. Dalits make up a substantial percentage of the population of Bihar. Mahadalits, the Bihar government created a Mahadalit category to specifically target the most marginalized Dalit communities within the state. Political and social movements. There are movements and organizations working to uplift Dalits, such as the Bihar Dalit Development Organization, which focuses on village level mobilization and empowerment. Dalits have faced significant historical discrimination, including exclusion from the fourfold Varna system and facing untouchability, according to Wikipedia. The Indian constitution includes Dalit as one of the scheduled castes, providing them with protection, positive discrimination, reservation, and development resources. Again, that is where our Honorable Prime Minister family is from. So it's good to know your history. And as I say, this is in commemoration with Indian Arrival Day. I think the holiday is Friday, is it? Or Saturday. And I read something from BBC News. In pictures, the many lives of Indian Dalits, and it said they were showing a lot of photographs. It said in India, 200 million Dalits find themselves amongst the nation's most marginalized citizens, condemned to the lowest echelons of the society by a rigid caste hierarchy. Let me see when this was written. This was December 2023. Quotas in the state's institution for Dalits have narrowed gaps in education, income, and health. Dalits now boast a thriving chamber of commerce filled with millionaires. Many organizations actively champion their rights. Two Dalits serve as the head of state, and I think the Prime Minister Mooney, if I'm not mistaken, is a Dalit. I think so. However, a significant number of Dalits continue to find themselves in occupations shunned by others, such as disposal of dead animals and cleaning sewers. The yam is a religious ritual that originated in the northern part of Kerala. So they say here is a Dalit, the yam performer with the state, where these dancers in trance are taught to embody the very divinities they venerate. When they become the yam artists, they become storytellers and medium living representatives of the gods. Even through the yam, the yam is rooted in the caste system. During the performance, the upper caste must respect and obey this divine dancer, who is of the lower caste, says Miss Sardini. And this is what the yam performer looks like. Also, Musahars, which literally means rat people, are so poor that their staple diet often comprises mice. A Dalit community in Bihar state, the Musahars mostly work on the farms owned by landlords and go without work for up to 8 months a year. Facing the challenges of survival and dependence on the unpredictable generosity of landlords, the Musahars have found alternative livelihoods such as Nakshanya, a group of gender fluid entertainers within their community. These male entertainers, aged 10 to 23, dress as women and perform at village weddings, particularly during the monsoon season. So this is what the Musahars look like. And they are gender fluid. They are men who dress like women and dance and stuff for weddings and things. Then we have in a visual hymn to devotion, a Ramani woman stands pensively at the doorway, her face and shaven head tattooed with a rhythmic repetition of Ram in Devanagari script, which is used to write Hindi, an eloquent manifestation of chants in written form, with each stroke of the wooden needle infused with ink derived from kerosene lamp soot. Intricate concentric Circles and linear patterns emerge, fashioning a sacred tapestry on her skin. The tradition extends to a shawl gracefully draped from her shoulders bearing the sacred word. Born in late 19th century, acts of defiance, the Ramanias, Miss, the Ram, the Ram Namis of, oh Lord, Chhattisgarh state embodies a distinctive protest etching visible devotion on both skin and soul, the timeless fusion of faith and identity. So this is what, and this is a woman, shaven head and tattoos. Hey, I'm reading one more. Emerging from the sacred depths of the Ganges in the holy city of Varanasi, a skilled diver surfaced with coins clenched between his teeth, an evocative snapshot of a life intricately woven into the river's narrative. Known as Gotar Kaur, an expert diver, he holds the coins offering from seekers of absolution between his feet, leaving his hands free to navigate the river current. The divers are also tasked with recovering the bodies of people who have drowned in the river and are compensated with cheap alcohol, according to Ms. Tadani. Each dive is a ritual, and every coin retrieved serves as an offering to ease the symbolic journey across difficult water, she said. So this is what they look like. A very rich history. And I would leave it there and read the others tomorrow, God's will. Right? So, again, this is in commemoration of Indian Arrival Day, which will be end of this week. But I want you all to listen to this because sometimes we get it twisted. Listen to Professor Binsley Samaru.
Historian Professor Brinsley Samaru says there's a general misconception regarding the history of East Indians in Trinidad and Tobago, particularly around the period of indentureship. Speaking at a public lecture at the Nallis Library in Port of Spain last evening, the retired UWI lecturer said the date for the end of indentureship was believed by many to be 1917, but he explained it in fact ended later.
From March of 1917, no more Indians were to be indentured from India to serve in any one of the plantation colonies. So I want you to understand that date. And then in January 1920, the decision was taken to end indentureship in the plantation colonies.
In discussing the disadvantages of the East Indian community in this country, he said he believed it could not be compared to slavery, another dark time in history.
Slavery was much worse than indentureship because in slavery, the slave was a slave for life, the slave and the slave's descendants.
Nevertheless, he said their struggles were valid and relevant. He referenced the government's reluctance to permit Hindus to practice the ancient Indian tradition of cremation.
Until 1953, you have come here from 1845. Cremation is accepted from the ancient time in India. Not burial, cremation.
He also spoke of the challenge in the education system, noting that the first Hindu school was established only in 1952.
All right, so you heard it there, as he says, Quincy Samaru, an intellectual who would have said indentureship cannot be compared to slavery. The only thing he should have said is enslavement, because we were never slaves, we were enslaved. So let us put that there. And coming out of that experience, of course, we have a lot of Indian persons who became intellectual in this country would have contributed greatly to the development of this country, whether it's music, whether it's dance, whether it's in academics, medicine, law, and that must be appreciated also. So again, to the Hindu community and all those who arrived 1845 and Fazal, oh Lord, Fazal Razak, yeah, as you enjoy your celebration this week. I too want to wish you all the best. While saying that now, I didn't realize that Africa Day, because just now is emancipation, and Africa Day was celebrated the 25th of May, and it says here, fostering a spirit of hope and collaboration amongst Africans. The African population worldwide and the international community joined the African Union AU today in commemorating the Africa Day observed annually on the 25th of May. This year, the day is celebrated within the context of AU theme, theme of, of the year 2025, justice for Africans and peoples of African descent through reparations. The Africa Day holds significant importance to Africans as it commemorates the founding of the Organizations of African Unity on the 25th of May 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, which aimed to promote unity and solidarity amongst African nations. The day serves as a reminder of the continent's shared history and collective efforts in achieving the Africa we want, as enshrined in African Agenda 2063. On this African Day, we celebrate Pan Africanism, our shared heritage, and the strength of our unity. We renew our resolve for justice, reparation, and a prosperous, inclusive Africa for all its people and the global African diaspora, said H.E. Mahmoud Al Yusuf, chairman of the African Union Commission. It is worth noting that the African Day celebration fosters a sense of pride in African identity, culture, and heritage, amongst others. It encourages Africans to embrace their diverse cultures, languages, and traditions, thus promoting a sense of belonging and community. The day provides an opportunity to educate both Africans and the global community about the continent's achievements, challenges, and potential, emphasizing the need for political stability, economic development, and good governance. It encourages dialogue amongst African nations to find solutions to common challenges and to work towards sustainable development and peace. Africa Day also offers an opportunity to raise awareness on a global scale about Africa's contribution to the world and about the AU as a key player on the international scene. While showcasing the importance of international cooperation, the day promotes a positive image of the continent, countering stereotypes and misconceptions. The day concludes or includes youth engagement, who are seen as the future leaders of the continent, inspiring young people to take an active role in shaping Africa's future, encouraging them to participate in discussions and initiatives that promote growth and development. So that was yesterday, Africa Day. And as we speak about Africa, we have everybody speaking about, I think his name is Ibrahim, can't remember how to pronounce his surname, who is from Bassino. Oh God, just now. Let me get it proper for you. He has been doing a lot of positive things in Africa, young man, young person, and his name is on the lips of of everybody now. Everybody is conscious. I'm trying. Oh Lord, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Give me a minute. What do you think? Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Ibrahim. Just a minute. Ibrahim. Okay, I ain't trying to pronounce his surname. He is from Bassino Faco. That is place. Oh God, Olia. Help me out now. I understand now he's offering Africans in the diaspora come and you can get citizenship. We know that Ghana, Ibrahim, yes, but you're writing it, I still in pronouncing it, Traore. And which part, what African country is from? Put it up. Put up Burkina Faso. That is it? Or just Burkina? Right. Burkina Faso, I think, right? Yes, it is. Thank you all, Burkina Faso. He's doing magnificent work out there. I will have to, as we come down closer to Emancipation Day, I will do some more research on him and I'll definitely do something on him, right? So that is that there. I want to also say that Muti, is it? Came from India, and it was a donation from the Indian government, I think, to the Hindu community, a big Murti, so it's here, and they are adorning it and all that. And I'm happy for them because that is their religious observances, their culture and practices. What I just have a challenge with, if something that come from Africa and the Orishas, the Baptists, or any person of African descent had gone to get it and have the ceremony on that, you would have heard the most nastiest things said about African people. But when Indian people, I'm not vexed about it, I'm just being real, it's nothing. Nobody says nothing. It's just like when the past government were linking with Africa so we could have flights going. The man who sits Qatar's, MP Qatar's, who sits in HDC, saying nobody don't want to go Africa or Nigeria or whatever. There's always a disdain and an insult and a disrespect with anything to do with Africa. And unfortunately, some of my people have bought into the bullshit, and that's why they'll behave the way they'll behave. Everybody else think good, except in theirs. I just see walking on Frederick Street. Some Indian people, they're not from here, of course, when you hear the thing, they're doing magic, black magic or witchcraft or something, telling it to come upstairs for you to read their hand and they do your thing. Normal. I saw on Synergy TV, one was advertising, you could bring back your loved one and all kind of things, and that was nothing because that is part of the culture. But let a Orisha or a Baptist be on Frederick Street or any street and giving out card and tell you come upstairs to read hand and palm. You hear people, what kind of obi are they walking? What kind of necromancy is that? All they get it together, eh? All they get it together. So let me continue. So while on that, I just want to play you something from one of the ladies from the labor movement. You all know I'm passionate about labor. And they don't speak. You don't hear OWT speaking much about her at all. But they stand on the shoulders of women. But they won't talk that talk. Instead of that, there's a report showing that 1 out of 3 women in the union movement have experienced abuse. That way you will see. You don't hear them talking about she, Roger, all of them, and they hear them talking about her. Listen to who this is.
The years when Cipriani, Butler, and Rienzi led the way for workers' rights in the labor movement in Trinidad, women were making invaluable contributions as well. The most vibrant of them was Daisy Craig of La Brea, well respected in her undertakings. One newspaper writer at the time stated that there is hardly a woman's activist on the island that does not owe something to this remarkable woman. Daisy Craig was a simple housewife who rose to the heights in the trade union movement and encouraged social groups for women at the time. She caught the eye of Captain Cipriani during a presentation at the Hearts and Hand Friendly Society. Captain Cipriani was so impressed, he gave her an invitation to serve on the Workmen's Association. Mrs. Craig later became the president of the women's arm of the association, a position she held with distinction even when the association was changed to the Trinidad Labour Party. Daisy Craig spoke with forcefulness and incisiveness that even the men were proud to serve under her. When the riots broke out in 1937, her home in La Brea became a headquarters of activities and herself an organizer. She was the first woman to organize a women's group in the area, the Women's Social and Cultural Club. Her courage and forcefulness made her a leader of men, which took her to the presidency of the La Brea arm of the OWTU and a trustee of the national body. Despite all the opportunities available to her, Daisy Craig remained a housewife. She was once quoted as saying, "It is the woman who helped change the world and not ladies."
Yeah?
Teach me 3.
And I just always say, well-behaved women rarely make history. Here she said, It's the women who change the world, not ladies. Because you have to have fire. You have to have a fire in your belly. Not and legs cross and like a camera hands. That ain't gonna work. So that was Miss Daisy quick there. You know, I have to bring in all the thing because again, as I tell all, just now is Emancipation Day, just now is Labor Day. I will do something on more on women in labor, and we get to that. So I wanted just to play that. So let me continue. So that is Miss Daisy quick there. OWTU should be thanking her. You don't hear them talking about that. You will feel it's only man. It's just like SWWTU is Elmer Francois who would have formed SWWTU. You go Swayze and he set on them. So let me continue. Oh, they think it right here. All they want is a woman like woman, hysterical woman can run thing and they know once man put herself in thing, everything does go haywire. Them that's about we emotional, more emotional than some man. Oh, and as I was talking to with indenture, it's not only the Indians came during indentureship, Chinese also came, and Syrian Lebanese also came. We will also look at that a little more in a little more detail about those two other ethnic groups who also came as indentured laborers. So they are part of our society and they too must always be recognized because this is Mother Trinidad and Tobago. So what am I looking for now? CNC3 News. Right. Martin Daly, all of them just come out to talk. Them just sit on which part, wherever it is, and just sprout. They don't get involved in anything, in my opinion, but just sit on this academia and just the intellectual of the society. And they're just sprouting. This should happen, this and do this and do that, and ask them what they're doing. That is my opinion. But they always have opinion. But when people like me and others have opinion, it's a problem. Oh, I'll come into that. So this is Martin Daly, May the 24th, in the Trinidad Express. Anna Amanda Gorman, age 27, is a poet, writer, and activist. She was the first U.S. National Poet Laureate. She frequently urges that society turn away from divisiveness. I heard Amanda Gorman spoke at the widely televised U.S. Democratic Party National Convention last year. She said this: empathy emancipates, making us greater than hate or vanity. This struck me as a core guidance, as our persons in public life regularly abandon empathy. Is it that they enjoy being no greater than hate or vanity? Mrs. Kamala Pasabi Sessa, upon her recent return to office as Prime Minister after 15 years in opposition, promised in her first remarks to govern with empathy. Like so many citizens offended by the scornful approach of the People's National Movement government that she replaced, whether one voted or not for the United National Congress, which she leads. I briefly hope that we might see a more collaborative approach to governance, whereby citizens' ideas might not be discarded simply because of profiling or whispered dislike. And you know what has upset me with people like Martin Daly, all of them? They just operate again and give them an opinion, as if they really believe the UNC can rise to the occasion. And that prayer that people want to be living on, live on the prayer from the true living God, not on the prayer that the UNC, excuse me, will suddenly miraculously do things in the interest of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They may have pockets of them in the UNC. I wouldn't deny that because we had Miss Anita, we had Russian Parry, Dr. Ragbir, and others who would have moved away because they want to move away from that kind of tribal, kind of clannish behavior. So yes, there will be pockets, but on a whole, all they really believe the UNC, again, I give in my opinion, really care about Trinidad and Tobago, or they live in that bubble. I come into something else just now. In my column last week on the need for fundamental reform, As opposed to tinkering and playing the continually recurring blame game, I concluded by raising the question whether the UNC government could find the necessary self-restraint so that rationality and not bitter partisanship would guide reform. At the time of writing, I sensed that self-restraint would not be forthcoming because Minister of Public Utility and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, PM Barry Paradat, had already had a rant about managerial arrangement, which the defeated PNM administration has sought to put in place at the Water and Sewage Authority, and the PM had symbolically torn up the PNM's WASA transformation plan. Mere days later, rainfall divulged the country and there was severe flooding. In response, and despite commendable mobilization to deal with the flooding, there was also rants about where the hell was the PNM, what the hell the PNM was doing. Each year of the 22 plus years that I've been writing this column weekly, annual flooding has badly dislocated lives and damaged property. Similarly, WASA has not been able to satisfactorily deliver pipe-borne water to the population. And that is why they have problem. I just play all this something Monday Diablo, where they said they wasn't getting water for much years. They have a next one somewhere again, the people thanking they don't get water. Why all of us be so, boy? Why all of us so? Why you ain't talk about the people who go in and interfere with the river? Diverging the river, building on the river bank, throwing thing in the river. That is a part of the flooding thing also. But let's write this basic thing, Trinidad has flood, however. What causing it to flood? The developments are building and who knows if they get town and country planning and approval. Why all it doesn't talk about these things? That what I tell or they'll just be pontificating in my opinion and nothing behind it. All this talk, but talk about things that may be contributing and tell me how to treat and deal with it. The irony of too much water on the ground is insufficient water in our pipes has been unreviled electoral change. This is a larger issue encompassing not only our painful flood and water woes, many other aspects of life are blighted by the lack of political will for all our government, regardless of electoral change, to plan and implement measures to change the deficient delivery of goods and services for which they have undertaken responsibility. Our governments claim to control of everything, but we're not blaming their political opponents, pass the buck to the judiciary, the statutory authorities, service commission, and so-called state enterprises, regardless of the suffering of population. And you see, I'm going to separate this. The government don't hire public servants. And if there's statutory authorities, and there's management in place to do the work and they're not doing it, put some blame on them too. But the word them does move all these things if the government was to say these things are causing problems, or they just want to put everything on the government, despite whoever government it is. And those I want to say, I just have some challenges reading from these learned intellectuals and them. Because to me it's always flawed. The government alone, no matter who it is, can be responsible for everything because you know what? Then let the government take over every blasted thing later on. Because if people are there on boards or on the service commission or public service, there's however it is, and they're not doing their part also. Because no minister does run no ministry. The accounting officer in the ministry is the permanent secretary. And let's see it, when that go to the GSC, and the minister can't say they turn it over to the PS, you think the minister taking that? The PS now, if there's one who always facilitating the minister and all kind of thing, then let's be catching the aunt, uncle, and nanny to understand. The minister does bring the policies from the cabinet to be implemented, government policies to be implemented in the ministry. And the person to implement that using the staff that there is the permanent secretary, who is all our boss in the ministry. And then outside that is the CPO. So no minister don't run no ministry. The minister could want this, do, and think, but the PS had to make sure it is done in conformity with all the regulations. Look, Mary, they know more of this. All them does have mouth to talk. talk, and then saying how to fix the problem. Only what's on a big talk? What's on a big talk? And when we get them the ideas, we don't have the bachelor's and we don't have the PhD and well, so they look down at you. Who is you? And sometimes you're blasted idea more usable than the shit them that be talking. Let me continue, sir, Papa. So I am seeing where the deportees are back, and they had an interview with a reporter. So let me hear what they had to say, and then I'll tell you what Miss Ayana Webster Roy, who gonna be one of the opposition senators chosen to sit on the opposition bench, or Miss Shanfa Kojo Lewis, or Renuka, Miss Renuka, who will bring fire, who could stand up and talk and challenge. Look, let me play the people say.
But that's the way it is. There's nothing we could do about that. I mean, 37 years of my life living in America, paid my taxes. I lost all my benefits, no social security, nothing.
Being forcibly removed from the country you've lived in for decades isn't an easy transition, but for Calvin Galloway, it's now his reality. Galloway was one of 17 Trinidadians deported from the US on Saturday. After decades away, he's still getting used to the country of his birth. The 62-year-old tradesman says he's eager to make the most of this new chapter of his life and urges other deportees to do the same.
When you get back to your land of birth, which is Trinidad and Tobago, bring that knowledge with you and do something. Make a difference in your little island.
Galloway and his fellow deportees are housed at Vision on Mission's Reintegration Center in Wallafield. They say the facility is a lifesaver as they had nowhere else to go. For 61-year-old Andre Clark, who left Trinidad in 1978, life here will be an entirely new experience. Clark, a grandfather of 15, says all of his surviving relatives are still in the US and doesn't even have Trinidadian documents to prove that he exists.
And when it happened in 2015, when they removed me, Trinidad and Tobago had no record of me. So they had to release me.
33-year-old graphic designer and contractor Jude Marcano was deported because of a traffic violation earlier this year. Marcano's wife died during the COVID-19 pandemic. His two children are now cared for by his father in Florida. The separation, he says, has been difficult.
You know, when Trump was in office back in 2016, I saw the news reports. You were separating families at the border and stuff. And, you know, I never thought it would happen to me.
Marcano is hoping that this.
Right. So that is some of the stories coming back. Is real people. Is not no make-believe people. And I hope we are ready to treat with issues that may arise or may not arise. It's real issues, yeah? And they born here, they deported back here, so you can't send them nowhere else. So we hope that this government who say when everybody win and coded here, I hope they have things in place. Because it's one thing to want to lead, and it's another thing to be able to lead. Sorry about that. So I'm seeing Miss Webster Roy, who was the Minister of Gender and Child Affairs, 20 hours ago in the Guardian, saying that the proposal to house deportees at center insulted children. So former Gender and Child Affairs Minister Ayana Webster Roy is directing or describing the government's consideration to use the National Care and Empowerment Center, NCEC, to house deportees from the United States as an insult to the nation's children. Responding via Facebook to a Guardian media article on Peparo residents concerned about housing deportees at the facility, Webster Roy said it was also a betrayal of public trust. She called on government to immediately halt this ill-advised plan. She said the facility must be returned to its intended use, protecting the vulnerable, not punishing them, urging the government to put children first. In recent news that the government is considering repurposing the Piparo facility to house deportees is deeply alarming and must be condemned in the strongest terms. Under the People's National Movement government, we invested millions of dollars to transform and reconfigure this facility into a consolidated child support center, a place of refuge, healing, and hope for our most vulnerable children, Webster said. Last week, Minister of Defense Wayne Serge revealed that 21 Trinidadian nationals, including 3 sex offenders and a convicted murderer, were set to be deported from the U.S. Serge suggested the Piparo Empowerment Center was a potential facility to house deportees who are without family support. However, the center was converted to the NCEC, which the Children Authority officially opened in October 30th, 2024, to provide safe spaces for vulnerable children. Piparo residents have expressed deep concerns about Serge consideration, with some fearing that deportees with criminal record will pose a threat to the community. In her post, Webster said that every inch of the space was carefully designed and customized to meet the unique needs of children in crisis. She said it was built with purpose, compassion, and foresight. And now, the very individuals who, while in opposition, criticized me relentlessly as Minister of Gender and Child Affairs, claiming that there was not enough space or safe spaces for children, have the audacity to turn around and convert a child protection facility into a deportee holding bay. That is not just bad policy, it is shameful, the former minister said. Webster Royce said the move was not only what she described as short-sighted and reckless, but a clear indication of the government's disregard for child welfare and community safety. She said children, Piparo residents, and the entire nation deserves better. I want to tell Madam Webster Roy, and I love she too bad, she just have some head wraps and things. If all the thing that this government care about anything, anyone are we had to say, only like we tell people, we show people, we implore people, we show the video, we all kind of thing, and people still say they don't care. They say they don't care. Miss Webster Roy, they tell me they don't care. They say they ain't coming out and vote, they're going to punish PNM. They don't care. You talking there, hear you. I feel the passion, the love in your voice, everything. But they don't care. All of a sudden you ain't hearing nothing, but we suffering again. The UNC there, it's in a month yet. All talk was suffering done. Every day was we suffering. You tell me it's in a month yet, and all of a sudden it's suffering done. How it done? We didn't even get paid since this government come in office. How the suffering done? So yes, his games it was on, and some other African people are to take up that talk. We suffering. All their doubles and chubby. All them things that I say, but all this only don't care. We don't care. We go show them because they put Stuart Young there. Then Dr. Olin Tavi nothing, and we put Stuart Young there. All of them are supporting and signed to support. And put Stuart Young there. We go show them. Only show Dr. Olin and Stuart Young nothing, no. Minister Wayne Serge is saying he didn't want no ministry. When he must go in there and see the kind of work it had to do. Excuse me. When he must see the kind of work it had to do, he must say, you see me, distressed. Me don't want no ministry, I did go away. What do you think? Mr. Manning say, God rest his soul, this country is not an easy place to govern. All they say now. 21 hours ago in Garden, I asked to be left alone. Defense Minister Ntoko Sandigrandi, MP Winsford, said he never wanted a ministerial post, but Prime Minister Kano Pasabi's sister told him it was too late. After she was sworn in, she asked what I wish for. Thursday, I replied, I wish to be left alone. That don't make no blasted sense. Because if he's a member of parliament, how do you ask he gonna be telling people you want to be left alone? Come now, man. MP Winston, oh gosh. No Minister of Defense. Stop bullshitting people. Man. What are they doing them thing? You went up and you fight against Roger Monroe in Grandy. You fight against him. The she was given out thing in me of his grocery in yellow bag. It up put it. I save it, but I see the back of you and people think they know whatever. You win the seat. How do you ask you gonna be telling the Prime Minister where you want? I want to be left alone. So if you want to be left alone, how you will deal with your constituents in Tokos and Sandy Grandy? All let's see what all they do, all who sit there and voting and then come out to vote, all let's see the shit all they put in. Yes, I saying them thing because there's no one talking to all the nice and think that they working. Me are no nice lady. Me want to be considered no nice lady. I want to be considered somebody who just talk the blasted truth, say it as it is. So don't get with that BS minister, but you wanted to be left alone. If you want to be left alone, and never put your backside in that race up there in Grandy. But in my opinion, I must see the blasted hard work to do, and I must say better stay out of this shit, and have my practice and do my thing and talk when I feel to talk. Now you're on a program. I want to see the kind of work. Look now, that's my opinion. I'm giving it. She asked, what do you mean? I said I didn't want to be a minister because I told the people to go Sandy Grandy on the campaign trail, they needed a full-time MP. But then you're not saying that you say you wish to be left alone. Come now, man, stop playing with words now. Not because all this SC and things have ordinary people don't understand language. You were supposed to say that when she asked you what said, I want no ministry. I want to just be a member of parliament, deal with my people. That way what's to say? I just want to be on the camera telling my full it would be virtually impossible to manage a ministry, especially defense, and still properly serve my constituency. He said the Prime Minister told him there is a convention in politics that you cannot decline national service. She assured me she had built a team to deliver on all we promised to the people of Toko Sandy Grandy. Serge revealed his family was about to migrate to the United States. The country had reached a point. It was heading down the wrong road. I feared for our safety and future, but I realized I'll be advocating my responsibility and abandoning my ancestral home. My family will be second-class citizens abroad. No! No. What you say? My family will be second-class citizens abroad. But what I said, this country is the worst. It had nothing. It gone through. It gone. So when you say now, if you go to America, your family will be second. I shock. Because this country will just stay down every day. We suffering. So you're concerned about going to America, you'll be second-class citizen. Well, I don't talk yet. He said TNT is a great country. No, that's not what I was telling people. And have people making video and talking and TikTok and things. They said, no, it's the worst. How this is a great country now? 2018, a month yet. All in office is a great country all of a sudden. We spent 9+ years under a man who boasted about using an Obia man against his leader, a good man, Mr. Manning. We pay dearly, but we are under a different dispensation, the love of a mother. This is no more discrimination, the version of inclusivity. Minister Winston, oh God, don't play me for jackass now, boy. Don't do that now, sir. But all respect, don't do that now. Don't do that thing now. What mother for what love? What mother? Kamala's a mother? Mother with what love? What love? Why are you being delusional and trying to paint this picture, this loving woman? Oh, let's stop it now. Stop it. Oh gosh. Not just so they can support all the leader and thing, but don't sell me no BS. But now we go have inclusive in what? Inclusivity. And all the sending home people left, right, and center, that's inclusive. him to Mr. Barry, he behaviors inclusive? Eh? Come now, man. Oh, let us just stop because it's sounding good. Search we're speaking at Vishwanath, you see? Here we're speaking at to talk about is a different leader and full of love. He wasn't talking in a national space. He was speaking in a space specifically. So to me, is it that you're saying that she love and thing it won't be for all a week, it will be for some a week? I just ask him. So he was speaking at Vishwanath Mandi Victory Celebration and Heritage Month event at Sangri Chiquito. He added, I look at the crowd, African, Indian, Chinese mix, and I felt vindicated. I stayed to the fight. I never thought I'd be a patriot, but this country deserves love. We celebrate our differences, not just in words, but in action. We're in such pathway the beach. Minister Sturge. Pathway the BS, please. All the thing, all the talk about Dr. Rowley. But we this and that, and let me tell you something. If he didn't have that demeanor, we're all talking about arrogant, the man assertive. And if you're insecure around Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, you're going to have problems with yourself because you're going to tell yourself he's talking down at you. Or you have to deal with all the blasts yourself. Because if you don't have Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley between 2015 to 2025, this country could have been like a deserted island coming out of COVID-19. All the too wicked. And all the PNM people who in Dr. Rowley's had to defend, he blasted himself right through. Who is he defending? When they come out and say all the nastiest thing about Dr. Rowley said, weather the storm, come out and continue to do the work of this country. Who is to come out and defend him? Well, the Women's League will put out the press and whatever. I ain't talking about that. You ever see the social media officer defend him? You ever see the PRO defend him? You ever see party groups come out and defend him? But all of a sudden, it's a nice lady now. I ain't reading no more because, in my opinion, Wayne Sturge report is a contradiction. All they sell, all the BS to people who ain't have no self-esteem and people who don't have no self-confidence. And people who always had their hands stretched out and they want to sell them BS to them. But mother and mother and mother and love and now we gonna have love. You're saying that, but not at a national space. You're saying that at a space based on the name of it. That is not a place where it's a place of somewhere where people of Hindu descendants. I mean Hindu, a part of Hindu religion. I don't have nothing wrong with that, you know. But don't feed me no BS when they're in those selective spaces and talk about Kamala and love. Talk to the whole nation when all of we come out. Independence Day, talk to we about love. Because all of we there. And I hope this year, all of them go come out because all they don't come out when PNM in office, all they don't come and celebrate independence. So how the hell they could tell me about love and inclusivity? What the hell it is? All they doesn't know that to come out and be patriot for independence when PNM in office, all they don't come out. But I'm sure the place will be full. They go full now because, well, so already be patriot only when the UNC in office. When they're out of office has nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago again. Look now. Let me move on. I want to ask the minister, the goodly minister of Sport and Youth Affairs. Wherever is you and the former minister was Minister Youth Development National Services, don't let it get in the way. I give an opinion of what is right for the young people. Because I hear now you're putting my lot, my part. Like you're putting it on hold or some kind of thing. Let me see. Excuse me. May the 25th, Facebook, Trinidad Express. The frivolous, vexatious, contemptuous action of the minister without oversight of my lot and my part, Philip Watts, must be called out for what they are, ineptitude and OJT attitude with first-class honors. His decision to indefinitely suspend the function of my lot and my part programs reek of high-handedness, lack of social consideration, and more so is not in keeping with his ministry's mandate to develop, protect, and provide for the holistic development of young people. Clearly, nurturing young adults is not his forte. What is also very concerning is the fact that not one of the many self-proclaimed child psychosocial, psychosocial, let me read it again. What is very concerning is the fact that not one of the many self-proclaimed child psychosocial specialists, certified criminologists, and social justice advocates, politician or priest found this action to be a travesty against the most vulnerable amongst us. Vulnerable not so much because of any social standing, but simply because of their age, demographic, and dependency. It is indeed, if indeed there was concern about aspects of the management of the program, were the perpetrators suspended along with the students? What was the haste? Classes were due to break soon. Couldn't the issue have been dealt with during the break? After almost 2 weeks of closure, classes resumed on Tuesday. Was the issue resolved? Couldn't it have been resolved without traumatizing the participant, possibly disrupting their progress in behavior modification? Couldn't the strain on the integrity of the program be avoided for the children's sake? The Mylat MyPad programs has done human service for their many cohorts of participants and by extension Trinidad and Tobago in particular with regards to behavior modification and the semi-military approach. If we should choose not to thank Dr. Rowley for anything, it will surely be remiss of us not to thank him for the creation of the Ministry of Youth Development and National Services, under which both programs were managed. MIDNS, that is Ministry of Youth Development and National Services, many programs diverse in sphere, are doing a similar job as PAN has done in the lives of young people. Minister Watts should be mindful of his handling or mishandling of this ministry. The advice given to the minister to convene the program wherever it came from was timely and solid. My advice to him is to honestly consider these 4 W's before acting. Why am I doing this? When is it a good time? Who would be affected most? What results I'm looking for? Most of us know the first day on the job can be very intimidating, so I await his midterm report, particularly if he retains the ministry. Anne-Marie Davison from San Fernando. I tell you, the running to thing, it sounds nice. They didn't know when the city kind of work it had to do. I give an opinion. They must say, I should have stayed out at this. So I want you all to listen to this because I come into something. Excuse me. I want to say this. When people who do the social media, blogs and whatever, like myself and others, when we are there ponging camera beside this, ponging, and not for ponging's sake, but bringing the evidence to show what we're talking about. We didn't say it, but it had people said this, said this, said this, said this. We were bringing it. Excuse me. All the PNM people didn't have a problem. All of the 9, all of the glad. And we jam in, we did jam in. Nobody in pay, nobody in ask what we doing it because we're patriots. Some people must believe we was getting paid. We got no pay and we wasn't asking for pay. We doing it because we want to do it. Right? We was doing it all of the 9. When we pong in camera and talk and say what Jack say, and what this one say about she, and fall long, all of the 9, all they like it, all they have a problem. Right? Now we have an opinion on the opposition leader. And it's not things that we saying, it's what people saying. And we want a strong opposition in the parliament. Because PNM is in a disadvantaged state right now with 13 members of parliament, including the opposition leader. So we want the best and the strongest there to stand up and respond, not to just oppose for opposing sake, as the opposition leader continue to tell me like if that is not understood. But you have to speak. And you can't wait until you're in parliament to speak, or in parliament is what on the agenda. But a lot of national issues would have happened with the government so far, and we have not heard the opposition leader speak about it. So what is the purpose? The purpose is to treat with any matter that deals with the interests or affect the interests and rights of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You're in opposition, you're supposed to hold the government to account. So if you have to talk on everything, every minute, every Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, once it is in the interest of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that is what you have to do. That don't mean to say you're opposing everything. It means to say you're doing your job. So as I was saying, so we're speaking out what people are saying and what we are seeing, and people have problems. Today I put up a conversation that on I-95.5 was having with Dale Enoch and Tony Lee about the opposition leader. And they find she had no fire, nothing, which I posted. Somebody want to tell me. I put in up that because Dale and them saying what I want to. They're not saying what I want to hear. They're saying what we have been saying. We're not doing it to embarrass nobody. We're not doing it to insult nobody. But we want, because all they're talking about inclusion now and the party to come back as one, and all they want to hear certain people's voice. All they just want to hear everybody saying she's a nice lady and she'll be paying them a long time and they treat her bad. That's all they want to hear. That will make a good opposition leader. Or let's stop fooling the opposition leader now. But this conversation about nice lady. You could be a nice lady and be very, very assertive. And assertive is not arrogance. Self-confidence is not boasting. You could still be a nice lady. But let's stop fooling the opposition leader and only talking about, yes, we want somebody nice now and somebody talking calm now because Dr. Ali is about people and Dr. Ali is this and Dr. Ali. And see if in the parliament we look like some woos. So having said that, this is what a gentleman would have made. Now this is a little too long, Papa. So me playing that. That is for a day when I have more time. But the point I was making. So listen to Dale and Tony this morning.
Senator.
Penelope Beckles Robinson, I listened to her speech on Friday. I listened to all the speeches on Friday. I may have missed one or two points. And I'm thinking, I said, the opposition leader, come on.
To be a little more spicy.
Yeah, a little more oomph. And I don't want to believe that after all this time, she has still quite a few.
She's a long-standing
parliamentarian. She's a long-standing parliamentarian. And she's still so focused on the script. I know some people, when you now start, they give some leeway and so on, but Penelope Beckles Robinson is not now start.
After all these years.
Yeah,
I understand where you're going.
Apart from that, I just thought she was lacking. It was a bit lackluster. But let's see if that...
Right? That's what I would have said. Let me play the other one.
In time to come, I thought
you wanted to have a little more pep on the, a little more peppery.
Yeah, I mean, here was an opportunity. It's the opening of the parliament. Everybody from both houses are there, plus guests, invited guests. Even Mia Motley was here.
She going up again?
She was there.
No, so she's going up.
We'll
get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
I just thought. I mean, I know Mrs. Beckles Robinson to be very quiet, always very
fairly, let's say measured.
She's a very measured person. Yeah. But I thought on Friday, I was almost...
but Mrs. Beckles Robinson, I suspect it will be in the 60s.
Probably.
I think it's a fair. We could check it out. Yeah. At this stage, Dale, I don't know Mrs. Beckles Robinson's projections, her verbal, meaning her presentations are going to be any different now from 5 years ago, because as you get older, more likely than not, you begin to, your habits are
hard to change. Yeah.
So I hear I didn't see it, but I hear where you are. Because she's always been a measured person.
I needed a little more oomph from the opposition leader who just, but maybe, as I said, I'm leaving room for
maybe the opposition maybe it should have been Faris. If you want oomph and theatre and so on, Faris is the man, And young Mr. Manning, Foster Cummings.
Young Mr. Manning.
They call him Mr. Manning. They say all the things about Mr. Manning.
Because there is a young Mr. Manning who
not
is
Brian
a member of Parliament.
This Manning here. See, sounds just like Manning, more than Manning, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Foster, you know. They say they're going to go with Foster, you know, real theatre, you know.
Mr. Cummings.
Quoting Bible and
you want theatre, look out for what's going to happen, the kind of fireworks that likely to happen between Barry Padara, the leader of government business, and the chief whip, Mr. Gonzalez.
The two awesome men. The two utilities men, you know. Real drama, you know.
It's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting.
Drama queens. There might be drama queens in the house.
Anyway, so we'll see. But again, let's see how.
Yeah, we have folks. I think after Friday we're going to see and observe as we head up the road, right? And then of course, well, did the Prime Minister name the 4 other?
Right. That's not we saying these things. And again, anybody who close to the opposition leader. Let her know people are saying this thing because they don't like she. The issue is she's not just a member of parliament, she's the opposition leader with a 13-member team, including herself. The PNM just lost an election, a general election, almost a month ago. And you see the behaviors already of some in the UNC. And what we see, look for instance this. Look for instance this. And that have me feeling a little kind of worried. Let me just think it. And before I think the thing, just listen. All up in all those feelings. Eh? And I say again, me and business who does get, who want to get, who should get, that's not my business. I'm not interested in that. But what they must know that Ms. Robinson is not up to the task. So is it only willing, just like all of them listen, when we were talking for the general election and we tell people come out and vote, come out in your numbers because the UNC go do this, or let's stay home. We telling all you now that Mrs. Beckers Robinson, let me say, oh yeah, Papa, let me think this thing by myself. Can you see me? I doesn't need company. Right? I have friends and thing, but when I talking, nobody ain't give me no authority to talk on their behalf. So me talking for me. Based on all I seen, Mrs. Beckers is not the right match to be in the parliament, nor is no opposition leader. What you then doing all them years before you can come just today? As the same thing what Mr. Tony Lee said. If you have a history of being this demure, quiet, measured person, and you're in your 60s and things, the chances that you're not going to change that, you're going to just go in the parliament and start to get on, people going to say, well, something wrong with you. That is not something you can just jump in. You have to know to, like for instance me, right? Not that I want to be in there, I'm just talking, right? I could be in any space. I could be in a get-on space. I could be in a space where I'm speaking very demure and very, I can do all that, you know. I can do it versatile like that. It's the same me, but different audience for different things. And people wouldn't say, oh God, how she sound? They'll say, nah, that Jen, that boy. That be girl Jen, because even if I talk in demure, it have fire, it have a excitement, it have a vibes in it. Right? I talk about things like that. You have to have a vibe. It could be very quiet, very demure, but when you talk, it moves you. You see when Muhammad Ali talk, and watchman and you're listening because although he gain talk and think, they want to hear the poetry and how he talk. He had some. Everybody does have something. President Barack Obama, you want to hear him because he have a way he does thing, and Mr. Manning, Basio Pandey, yes, and Dr. Kid Christopher Rowley, you want to hear them, you want to hear Shamfa Kojo, because you know it's fire and more fire, she could be very decent. You want to hear Runuka. You want something, tell me a lie, or tell me a lie. Tell me a lie. Here where we want to have somebody who could stand in with defense. Listen to what this UNC minister said. New minister wants to review archaic election system. 3 days ago, he said that. This was in the Newsday. New Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, OPM, Darrell Alahar, wants to change the system of elections. All you hear that? We were warned about that. We were told that UNC getting there to go change the whole system. We might vote again. They have the man saying, he said he wants to change the whole system of elections. Take you all, they had to come out and march like Section 34, you know. He said so minutes after being, only minutes after being sworn in by the President, Christine Kangolo, at the President House sentence on Thursday, the 22nd of May. Asked what he would like to see the government advance. Alahar replied, all conscientious attorneys would wish to see the civil and criminal justice system work optimally and for TNT to continue to have a system of open justice. Saying he was just sworn in and was not speaking for the government, he said, it's a personal hope. Alahar added, it's another hope and desire that our system of elections, which is very old, archaic, hard to understand, and prone to corruption, may be reviewed. What the ass I hear here? We can understand the system of governance? Doing it so long based on the Westminster system? We don't understand it. We don't understand democracy. And it have any system in the world where you may not get corruption, but you have to have things in place to deal with it. You hear what, all you're not worried. Tell me all you hear who understand you for you're not worried with that kind of conversation. It was just sworn in, you know. Well, that 3 days ago, you heard the opposition leader talk about that. That should be very concerning. Because that's what interfering with democracy to go and change the election process just so. What's the opposition thought on that? It is something I personally feel very strong about. He said all that is needed to be brought into the 21st century. A lot of lawyers cannot understand it. At a UNC press conference on April 23rd, ahead of the April 20th general election, Alahar called for a commission of inquiry into the Election and Boundary Commission of here. And all this sit down home. All this sit down home. I want to know if this government fashioning the behavior just like Donald Trump in America. That's what they wanted. Because when UNC, when everybody win, and all they was singing that, Lizard Trend singing it, and yellow is the code. Or they get by for a slogan and a jingle. Now they want to interfere with the election process and commission an inquiry into the EBC. The EBC has been trusted to go and help with the election all over the Caribbean. You never hear no bacchanal, no confusion, only in Trinidad. With the opposition leader, where is Mrs. the Honorable Penelope Beckers-Robinson? Where is she to speak on this? Isn't this concerning? Isn't this a natural interest of citizens of this country? But all I want to tell we who talking about it that the fact that she's too silent, that we trying to bring down the PNM. Oh, yes, we could bring down PNM. We inside PNM. So this big people language, the most people get ass. How we could bring it down? So you telling me the PNM can't take no criticism, but when Mrs. Baptiste Primus and Le Hunt was out there yapping. All they didn't say nothing because it serve all their purpose. All and this one, that one. All they have a problem with that. No, it serve all their interests. Let me just read one more. The communal opposition leader. He's an ordinary person. He said then that also the conduct of the election officials in respect to the management and conduct of all elections with a view of determining if persons should be prosecuted for misbehavior in public office. Alahar then asked if Chief Election Officer Fern Narcissus Hope was a PNM member, despite her having repeatedly said no over the years, regarding them with a blasted vengeance. They after this woman from day one, they're talking about prosecution now. All they look for blasted that. Or they sit all their ass home because people tell all you, don't vote for Stuart Young. How they could put he there. Look how long Penny there. Look how long this one there. This is a black man party. And how they could have this and all kind of blasted shit. They put it on their head and all they sit this blasted one out. And Dominic said it. We only need about to get back about 21 or 22 seats. That's all. Or just sit on your ass home. To know you're hearing about prosecution and Ms. Nasser's scope and this one and that. That's what they wanted. But all this vexed with me because I am saying, in my opinion, the opposition leader is not ready. It's not, she just don't have it. But people must have their agenda. I don't know. I am telling my member of parliament, you don't have to listen to me because me is an ordinary constituent. I am telling my member of parliament, though my member of parliament is Stuart Richard Young SC, don't get involved in that internal election. Keep yourself out of that. Keep yourself out of that. Because that is sounding like that going to go down right at all. That sounding like it have all kind of sin, this and that and whatever. Stay out of that, my member of parliament. Let us say how, oh, you say you go fight by yourself. Stay out. Stay out of that. Because up to now, Mr. Ashton Ford was the General Secretary of the PNM. He have an institutional knowledge of PNM. He spoke about people who voted for Dr. Naim Gasly and I think Comember to be chairman and some other thing. 2 of them wasn't eligible to vote. Me and here nobody take them to court, send no pre-action protocol letter, I seen after you. So if they start off in that kind of couture, you can imagine what the election, June, whenever it is, they coming up will be. Member Parliament participant was sentence West, Stuart Richard Young SC, stay out that election. Let it go and win the thing. Let it win. They want to wear crown on the head. Some of them can't carry that crown. They want to run things. They want to run things. Because everybody wants to run things. Because this is a black party. This is an African party. I never know Dr. Williams created no African party. He said there's no mother India, no mother China, no mother Syria, no mother Africa. It's mother Trinidad and Tobago. And a mother don't discriminate against the children. But to someone who has some blasted bad mind. That's all they're pushing. And all they're pushing for Ms. Beckers and anybody trying to advise her, ma'am, you're not ready for this. All they find, we want to bring down the party. I can't bring down no party. The PNM is so much years old. I can bring no party. I not know the executive. I not know general council. I not know nothing. What I can bring down? But all they don't want to hear the truth. But when they're cussing Stuart Young, when they're cussing Dr. Rowley, all they have a problem with that. Because it must be serving all their purpose. All they say defend. But all of a sudden, all they're jumping out to defend Mrs. P. Beckers Robinson because she's a nice lady. Why they ain't talking about this? Why the chief whip to talk about this? The chief whip, Mr. Gonzalez, MP Gonzalez, to talk about this. This man talking about interfering with the democratic process. Well, let's talk about it. So this is what I believe that Dale and Tony may have been speaking about. And all they tell me for themselves. I listened to part of when Mrs. Beckers Robinson was being sworn in as the opposition leader. I don't have a problem that you're congratulating Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar on her second term, Prime Minister being a woman, or Excellency Christine Kangaloo, woman, and you, opposition leader, woman. Nothing wrong with that. And you're going to tell me that she was a teacher. From the time you said that, I realized, oh God, people has respected you telling the woman she was a teacher. So she done manners than you already. You ain't going to say nothing out of time and nothing at all. You just going to be going in because I was a teacher. You don't need to tell me that. You don't need to tell the country that. We can have one research that for ourselves. You tell me that you're a teacher. Why that come in there? To me, that send a signal. I don't know about all you. I do enough communication. I do enough English. I do enough drama. I do enough psychology to know these things. When you look at it, you look at body language, you look at facial structure, expression, you look at what people saying, you look at it. That's a sign of weakness, that you're conceding. That is just my opinion. So I don't know if it's this that Tony Lee and Daly Knock was speaking about.
Minister, in welcoming you as Speaker of this Honourable House, even as I congratulate the Prime Minister on her election victory. As true patriots, the People's National Movement always seeks the best interests of Trinidad and Tobago, and it is therefore my earnest hope for impactful and responsible leadership from the government chosen by the citizens in the general election of 2025. The people have chosen the People's National Movement as the opposition party of the 13th Republican Parliament. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. To the people and through the people, Mr. Speaker, we thank you for your support, and even as we accept our duty at this time, and as we hold the government to account, be assured that we have begun the preparation will allow the People's National Movement to form the next government of Trinidad and Tobago. This House, through diverse in its voices, must remain united in its respect for the democratic process and its commitment to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I expect our debates to be vigorous and passionate, reflecting the vibrancy of our democracy. But let us not forget that our first responsibility is to our constituents and to our country. We may disagree, but may we never become disagreeable. Let us hold ourselves to a high standard with a shared commitment to advance the principles enshrined in our Constitution and to serve the public interest. As a parliamentarian of considerable experience, allow me to especially welcome those members elected to the House for the first time. To enter this august chamber by virtue of your constituents' trust in your ability to represent them is the greatest honor, privilege, and responsibility. The fire of representation must continue to burn bright in our hearts throughout this term, fueled by our connection with the people who have placed us here. We must zealously guard this connection and the passion it generates, for should we become disconnected, our efforts in this chamber will certainly be in vain. In the words of the father of the nation, Dr. Eric Williams, democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens. We are here to serve and represent the people. Mr. Speaker, as we rise to fulfill our duties in this honorable House, we must be ever mindful that our actions today shape the expectation and aspirations of future generations. Across the country, many young people are watching not just what we say, but how we see it and how we disagree and how we lead. The tone we set in this chamber reverberates far beyond its walls. We, the parliamentarians of Trinidad and Tobago, carry a profound responsibility.
The opposition leader looked down at that paper like if she whole life depended on it. If you're reading from your paper, whatever, you must know when to look up and engage. You can't be for them long period they head down in a paper and once in a while. No, there's that will have a disconnect. You're all caught up in your, oh God, damn the sympathy, and then Chief Whip watching she, I said to myself, like, is he write that speech? He watching she like to, I don't know, I just saying you're looking at these things and you picking up on certain things. So I don't know if is that what Daily Knock and they talking about, because there's no fire in that. And why they have no fire in anything? You cannot talk soft whatsoever, but connect. Jot down the points and thing, know your subject matter. Once you know your subject matter, you have the points on your thing, you could glance on one and you look up and you talk and you think, an intonation thing, and you look back so again, glance so, and you think, but you can't be reading your whole head down inside the paper. Oh God, them thing are looking good. Plenty who watching here not going about, oh, she pulling down I'm not pulling down nobody by. What I want Kamala and them to tell she that? All I want the opposition to start to embarrass the opposition leader. That's all I want. All I want them to drag she all over the place. That's all I prefer. We're trying to get it right now. But all I only put it like to me, I don't know if it's naked ambition. I don't know what it is. You must realize that you're not able. Ambition alone is not enough. You might be there wanting, listen, Let me use an example. I like to use me as an example and think whatever it is. I'm a cook, a government cook, whatever. Without training, I could cook. But I wouldn't go and put myself and apply for no work as no chef. There's a difference between chef and cook. Excuse me. Because I haven't done any training to be a chef. I could find my way around because I'm a cook. I could handle stories. But if the job is for a chef, no matter how much years experience I have as a cook, I'm not going to apply for the chef work because a different area of work now, you need a different kind of skill. But that didn't take away nothing from me. I could trust me, I put on a pot. You lick your finger, ask anybody Auntie Jenny, cook in the camp, whatever it is. That's how but I'm not going to put myself and apply for no chef. You have to know your limitation and capabilities. It doesn't mean to say you're not good. And that's the point I'm making. You have to know what you're capable. As much as I might want to be a chef and all that, me ain't study for that. Me ain't going to study for that, so me ain't pushing up myself in that. Because that's a different skill set to me. Those are the things I'm talking about. That's why I like to use myself as an example. What I good at, that is what I use and emphasize, because with that, I could read without looking at paper, think. I could talk on labor from institutional knowledge. I could talk on dance. I could do mediation because that is my competencies. I'm a mediator. Me ain't no lawyer. I can't go in no courthouse and argue no case for nobody. Me a trained in law, but I'm a good mediator because I have to practice those skills all the time. I know labor law, but I wouldn't go in industrial court by myself to argue no case with nobody. I'll need supporting people there with me. And you have to know your abilities or not. And don't let nobody chain you up because you want to. And it's your turn now and all them kind of foolishness. At the end of the day, I keep saying, the only person going to get dragged and embarrassed will be the opposition leader when they start the jam sheet. All that nice talk and think. When them start, them going to be brutal. So all this agree and not disagree. But it sounds good. But know who you're dealing with apparently. All they don't understand is all the political enemy. All they feel this thing is a joke. Here I say a political enemy. Sun Tzu say the Chinese military strategist and philosopher. He said if you know yourself and you don't know your enemy, and I'm talking politically, right? In that context, you will win half your battles. If you know your enemy and you don't know yourself, you win half your battles on both sides. But if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you will win all your battles. And apparently, this PNM don't understand and know the political enemy. All that nice talk, they think, and soft talk and civility. Yeah. We ain't saying to be loud and shout and carry on. And no, but you have to find a way to come at the fire. Mrs. Shamfa Kojo knows when she talk and she come at fire, it was still decent, it wasn't ghetto down and all that. But when she talk, you say, yes, get him. It was very classy how she get him. When Miss Senator Runuka talk, and she get him, she get Jayanti, think. You saying, yes, she ain't go wrong and no gutter nothing, but she had a fire and a passion. When my minister talk again, yes, you want to hear because he talking from a place of conviction, a place of knowledge and ability. So you're listening. You want to hear. It's a plenty speaker, so we just have some people, guys, they don't have that. And what's wrong with that? You can't be everything. In a team, it has some. In a team, all them does do is criticize everything, but you need them, because them just keep you on your toes. In a crew, you might have them who can write a speech to save their life. But if you give them it, them go in front of the camera, they mash up. And vice versa. Everybody have this place on a team, and you have to understand the weakest link. And everybody is important. But don't put yourself in position We're showing up the whole scene. Mrs. Penelope Becker's MP Robinson, no opposition leader. It's not me alone saying them things. I keep asking people, and I generally, because I don't know much about her career, I keep asking people, other than she being a nice lady, she is a nice lady. I met her already, took picture with her, give her a hug, I think, of emancipation, whatever, and I think in the bush line for Dr. Rowley had a thing, take picture and all that. She is a nice lady. I say no, she not rough and thing whatever. So I ask them, other than that, tell me, what again as a lawyer, what has she done cases with her? Nobody can tell me nothing. Then I read some case with some workers and something, and it wasn't flattering at all. I say, okay, as a minister in all the different ministries and that kind of thing, what? When I talk to some people, they say, no. What has she done? Asking John, nobody can tell me. But you're reading things, and it's the way you're shaping your opinion from. And when you read it now, you're saying, but this is sounding right. So they go vex at me. All you be real. Yes, all they want the PNM to rebuild, and it's in a month yet. People feeling still out there, whatever the case may be. And there's somebody talking out. How they go mash up PNM? Or they have no confidence then. Somebody talking out can mash up PNM. You think PNM formed yesterday? But all they want nobody to talk about because they serve all their interests. I talk about me serving my interests, nothing, no. All I'm interested in is that the right party run this country, and that is the People's National Movement, because they have proven over and over they are the ones who just keep this country stable and together with their policies. They're not perfect. Have they done shit? Of course they do shit. But by and large, with all the PNM is chaos, confusion, and back and rolling, all that is my motivation. So when I say I support my member of parliament, I'm saying it again, Stuart Richard Young SC. I'm not afraid to say that because I'm saying it because I just get something and I want something, or he tell me to say something. I say it because I'm convicted in myself that he's the person that I support. If I was supporting Ms. Beckers, I would have been saying the same thing. So me saying it because I want something, I'm looking for something, I'm begging for something. Who does do that? Their business has nothing to do with me. If that is their modus operandi, their business has nothing to do with me. I talk because I believe in what I say and I feel it. And if I don't feel it, I don't talk it. If I don't feel it, I wouldn't talk it. So only go ahead and follow up the opposition leader head with all kinds of nice lady. We want somebody quiet now and decent, and go inside it and the UNC politically slaughter the People's National Movement. And we want, oh God now. And only not all yourself. Only that be saying that. Only that be saying the best person. Only that be saying it. Tell me a lie now. But if I say it, it will have a problem because looking for scapegoat. Me ain't no scapegoat for nobody and nothing. So nobody can make me no scapegoat. I say what I say, and I will say it anyway. In front of Ms. Beckers with all due respect, behind Ms. Beckers with all due respect, in front of anybody. That's just me. That's how I roll. I'm here perfect. But you know what? I like to stand for truth as much as possible as I can. And I don't like to fool people. Or I like to fool people. Because it suits all your interests, all of the fool people, mama guy people. And when people follow all you come and disappoint them, all you leave the people right there. I don't be on them thing. Me a fooling nobody, boy. Me a fooling nobody. And I tell them a member of parliament again, don't care what they tell you. Don't enter that election. That election looking in my opinion like it's rigged and orchestrated. Let them win. Let it go. Let them win everything. They want it. Let it take it. Let people say all kind of things now. Say, oh, they say go fight. And yes, but you want to fight the right way. You want to start off fighting and nothing where it's stuck. no bad card stack against you. That is when no fair fight. People have to be stupid to go in a fight with stack against them with bad card. To say what? To prove what to somebody? As I say again, when we was playing with Dale Enoch and Tony Lee say about coming up beside the sister and we was having a good time, we didn't have a problem. Listen to what they did say. Well, they didn't have a problem with that. But we have a problem with me playing what they say about the opposition leader today. We mustn't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. No. Why? Is this keeping a hand holding in, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. No. You want to rub the board, don't say. And then now, behind all their hand, all the board, no God. And when things bust out now, all they know to treat and deal with it now. So this is what Dale and Tony had said about coming up beside the sister. We used to play it all over. Listen to it.
She sounded so drained. She's tired of it. She sounded drained. She was making mistakes. I don't know what input she had in writing the speech, but she kept making mistakes and having to talk to her colleague. The chief would, the Chinese one, the chief would, having to talk to the chief would to seek clarification of all. It just came across. I mean, I'm not talking about the content so much now. I'm talking about the delivery. It just came across drained and a tired woman, a tired person, a tired, drained politician. You know?
That is what Dale and Tony was saying about coming up as our sister. We play it and we say, yes, she's sounding weak, she's sounding this. So now, they come and say the same thing basically. But the opposition leader, we mustn't say nothing. We keep quiet. Don't say nothing. It's out there. Them is more famous than me on radio and on social media today. You know, people see that and hear that. You know, people see that and hear that. So we mustn't be concerned as a person who loves this country, as a person who loves the PNM and know the PNM is the best alternative, the best party to run this country. We mustn't be concerned. Just but don't say that now. How she could say that? And she want to mash up the party. What kind of foolishness are they be talking about? Eh? Eh? When all the insecure and have all the insecurity, all those afraid people who self-sufficient, somebody who have self-assuredness. Self-assuredness and insecurity represent opposing states of mind and behavior. Self-assured individuals demonstrate confidence in their ability and decisions, while insecure individuals often struggle with self-doubt and fear of failure or criticism. Confidence. Self-assured people have a firm belief in their own capabilities and judgment. Positive self-talk, they tend to have a positive internal dialogue to avoid self-criticism. Courage. They are willing to take on challenges and embrace new experiences. Openness. They are open to feedback and willing to learn from mistakes. Assertiveness. They are comfortable expressing their opinions and needs even when faced with disagreement. Insecure people now. Self-doubt. Insecure individuals often question their ability and decision. Fear of failure, they may avoid challenge or tasks they perceive as difficult or risky. Need for validation, they may seek constant reassurance and approval from others. Negative self-talk, they may engage in negative self-talk and criticism. Difficulty making decisions, they may struggle to make decisions and may overthink situations. That word with Tony and them say measured. Because you're overthinking, so you're afraid to talk free. That's how I interpret it. Measured. You're afraid that you talk something because you have self-doubt. You want to say the wrong thing. You want to, nah. Or tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if I lie, Listen to this one here. Assertive behavior involves communicating needs and opinions clearly and respectfully while respecting the rights and needs of others. In contrast, aggressive behavior prioritizes personal needs without regards for others, often using a forceful or hostile tactic. Assertiveness is about standing up for yourself in a way that does not harm or disrespect others. while aggression is about controlling or dominating others. Clear communication expresses thought and feelings directly and honest without being vague or evasive. Considers the rights and wants of others, non-threatening, uses calm and firm language, avoiding yelling or intimidation, focuses on solution, seeks to resolve conflicts through open communication and compromise. Example, I'm not comfortable with this situation and I need to discuss it with you in a calm, direct manner. Whereas with aggressive, dominating focuses solely on personal needs and desires, disregarding the feelings and needs of others. All I want to say, Dr. Rowley, was what? Aggressive. That's what all they're saying is. If he was aggressive and they don't care about himself, when he asked certain people in 2010 to come and work with him to rebuild the PNM, they tell him no. And he persisted. The man who all want to say aggressive and dominating, he persisted and they eventually come on. He could have, when they tell him no, he could have left that alone and move on, but he was studying country and building back this country, building back the PNM to take over, rule in 2050. But all they want to say the man was aggressive. Or they insecure. Or they insecure. But all they self. And all they was somebody who all they feel all they could walk over. All they was somebody, in my opinion, all they could walk over. All they want no restriction. But Dr. Rowley said have all in order. And not because he's dominating, because you understand. Or they could go all over the place. So you have to keep it in order. That is my opinion. Now we go all like children at a candy store all over the place. So they want an auntie or a mommy or a daddy who all they do with the ass. So they want. That is my opinion I give in. So they love Auntie, or they love Auntie Penny. Even the UNC love Auntie Penny because somebody write and say she's non-threatening to them. But as Church, or they want that, or they're using the excuse he's of Chinese and Indian descent. That's an excuse, or they're using, and want to full up African people head, but PNM is an African party, or they can put a Chinese Indian man. That is a listen to me now, man. Let me talk the thing now. Well, all they know, the founder of this party that the opposition leader talking about and quoting from. Satan no mother China, no mother Syria, no mother India, no mother Africa, only mother Trinidad and Tobago. And a mother don't discriminate against she children. So Stuart Young is one of she children. All they talking that part with Dr. Ike Williams say. All they just talking about how they can have a Chinese man and an Indian man and Dr. Rowley bring he and put he and we and all kind of blasting. Why he can't be a leader of the PNM? Why he can't be the leader? And all they say that the PNM is all inclusive? All they want to start to get on like UNC hour. Why he can't be leader? But all they know that must be the best thing it had in this time to treat with matters because all they blasted naked and hostile and ungrateful self. Me and business, you know. Me and business. Yes, they can walk over Dr. Rowley. And Bolo, he aggressive. He was assertive. If you're insecure about your blast yourself, anybody who is assertive, you go say they're aggressive. Anytime you're insecure about yourself, you look at somebody who has self-confidence and you have problems with them, you say, oh, they're showing off. And they feel they know everything. You're always looking for the, when you're insecure about yourself, you're always looking for the negative in other people, you know. You're always looking for the negative. Oh, arrogant, arrogant. It has so many PNM right now who are more blasted, arrogant than them. I could call one name now. That's look down at people. All the time I ain't gonna call no blasting them, but I know what I'm talking about. Who more arrogant than that individual? Eh? Dress and more dress and more dress. Beauty queen. And as watchers if there's nothing. Well, she was watch people, not me. Because me is something. Nobody can watch me no how. But you're watching and you hear people talking about it. Oh, they tell me a lie now. Tell me a lie. Tell me a lie. I want to run things now. Tell me a lie. Attitude like that. And again, that stems, in my opinion, from self-esteem issues. Because you're bright, nobody can take that from you. You have all your qualifications, nobody can take that from you. You speak eloquently, nobody can take that from you. So why you need to be so dismissive when you're treating with people? Again, you can't talk to me so on dismiss because me, this is a queen here. When you're talking to me, I have to measure your tone, put a little sugar in it because you go get back disrespect. But all they know I talking about. Anyway, we talked earlier. We talked earlier. We talked earlier. Dominic talk. Sharon Phillip talk. Google talk. Julia Diva used to talk. This one used to talk. Fearless Warrior used to talk. Used to talk. Ting. And all they say, shut that. Lady Wednesday, when we don't care, we will teach them a lesson. Now they're talking about interfering with the election process and looking to bring commission inquiry to see if they could bring criminal prosecution against people in the EBC. The stopping program, people have to go home, they're telling them leave your contract right out and go now. People are saying they work. All kind of thing happening. All you look for that. And we did tell all you, when all you do this, you don't tell me nothing. We have nothing to say. We told all you, we telling all you again. This time with the PNM, we telling all you again. All you don't listen and feel people talking because they don't like this one and that one. Don't listen and try to fix things proper. Don't listen. Don't listen. All you don't listen again and get all up in all the feelings. Don't listen. Because who is she? Who she feels she is. Don't listen. Let me see all who here. Well, I don't know what's happening. I'm not seeing no names coming up. I don't understand why. Let me see again. I'm not seeing no names coming up. So all who here, all who locked on, Pammy and Joyce and Dandy and Donna and Shireen, I know Roxanne there. I saw some others before, I think Miss Melka. Excuse me. So many others, I just see names right here now. All those who are locked on and tuning in. Legacy. Put up all the names I could call on. You know, I love to call out all the names. Valerie, Rena, Leon. Put it up, put it up, put it up, put it up. Sarah. We bringing it, we bringing it. All who are locked on tuning. Donna, Arima, Joycelyn. And again, happy is strong. Anton, happy is strong again to Super Blue, Austin Lions, for your music. Hi Maria, hi Gail, for your music, for your memories that it helped me create. When I can't think but I fed without thinking. Super Blue. And all the people who love them, there's a woman, mommy saw sister, she does go mad when she hears Super Blue. Anyway, he is, she goes. Could get on and dancing just like him and thing, you know. So I hope, I know, she gets hi Lestra, Shireen, Nika, Jenny, Joyce, Charles. I know he must get a gift and thing from Charity. She's a real Super Blue fanboy. Hi Mr. Frank, hi Gloria. People, were you laughing at Joycelyn? Hi Denise, hi Jennifer Dorset, hi Yvette Lisa, the Dean, hi Maria, you don't pop your damn name already. How much time you want to call you? Maria, and she put it break, it's Maria. Thank you, Maria. Melka, everybody, Carrie, everybody. I said Shireen already, Pity Valley in the house. Hey! Sandra, everybody, I love you all. Again, what I say here now, I could say it again. Because me ain't talking with water in my mouth. I'm not lying on nobody. I'm not talking from a place of trying to hurt nobody. I'm not talking from a place of jealousy or malice. Nothing like that. It's a serious concern that we want the best and the strongest opposition in the parliament, the 13 of them strong. That's what we want. We want in the Senate, we have a strong team. And it have work to do. And I saying again, next time again from a member of parliament, stay with the people and them election. That songing rigged, orchestrated, it's songing like bad car, all kind of thing. That is my opinion. Stay out of that. Let them wear the crown because them feel it belong. On the head it belong. I hope when it go on the head, the neck strong enough to take the weight. Because it won't be easy. The UNC not going to be letting up. All this nice talk now, they're not going to be letting up. They will drag PNM inside the parliament and in the Senate if it had nobody to stand up to respond. And let me tell you how dread it is. We have young parliamentarians, first time experience then, right? MP Hansi Veens, MP Curry Marcel, MP Chris Birchwood, our own MP Dominic Rubin. All of you know you can handle this, but talking about first time it in the parliament there. And who is the next person? Oh gosh, that guy Nobrega. Nobrega have never been around, you know. So let me say 5 of them, right? Out of that 5, we have remain now. If the opposition leader is saying, no, just say, you're not going to be opposed, you're going to be nice and it's okay. So take Shirley Peter. Who do I have? We know Mrs. Camille Robertson, she can handle she stories. She is a veteran in the game. She's a warrior. She can handle she stories. We know Comember can handle these stories. We know my member of parliament, Stuart Richard, can handle these stories. Marvin Gonzalez is new, but he could think. We have Brian Manning also. Keith Scotland. So you want a united collective team that we don't want no kind of, and you will have to follow the dictates of the leader. Because if you don't, it will look like all divided. So if she calm and think, all of that to be so. But listen, you see this tea party, all they want to invite people to, I don't want to blast the tea, I don't want to sip no tea. I want my tea in a enamel cup. The pieces of it looking like the enamel breakout. Cocoa tea great. That's what I want. You want no damn tea, no sipping Lipton or no. This one's called for the old enamel cup to come out of the hot cup of grated cocoa. That's what we want. Not a tea party thing, but people, I love you all. See you all on Wednesday. And I come with something fresh, something new. There's Hi Diamond, Trini Jewels. Come with something fresh. Hi Denise, something fresh, something new. This Eagle, Jen, Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny, if you want to get formal as Miss Jennifer Frederick, another edition of We Talk D Ting. And Miss Lucy, and Miss Sadina. Love all you, as I love everybody else, right? I go on. Tell them I say what I say. Or they can even send my life for them to watch. I don't have a problem with that. Because I say what I say with a genuine care. Genuine care. I go on. I will see you all the Wednesday, God's spare. Love all. Hi, Andrew. Love all. Love all. When Jen, only you and Dominic, we have now everybody gone. Boy, we have Devon Well, we gave Phyllis for yeah, we have him too. And yeah. Love you all. I go on. Love all. Bad. I go on. Hi, Alison. Oh God, listen. Rena, stop putting up your name like every minute only calling you. Bye, darling. Love you. I go on.